G'day gamers, Tim Barclay from Aussie Wargamer here in Moree, Australia, and welcome to my channel. Got a very special guest on tonight, Mrs. Aussie Wargamer, my wife Leslie, for Vince Venturella's topic of the week, talking about our partners and spouses and what their thoughts and reactions to Warhammer is. So, what is your general impression of tabletop wargaming and the hobby and the things that we do?
General impression of your accent at the moment is that it's over the top, but that wasn't the question. General impression of wargaming. I'm glad that you're excited about it. It's good to have something that you're passionate about, but it's not really my cup of tea, to be honest.
Yeah, right. So Tom Lyon says that his wife says that she's really happy about it because she knows where he is. He's not out at the pub or whatever. He's down in his basement painting models.
That's very sad.
So I mutter and ramble about Age of Sigmar all the time, and so from what you've gleaned from the little that I give away, what do you know about Age of Sigmar? What can you tell us about the characters, about the narrative, the story? What is Age of Sigmar?
I thought I knew the answer to this question really, really well. I was very prepared for it, and then I realised that I was thinking about Shadespire, so that was very disappointing to me. I could have told you about Shadespire.
Shadespire actually is part of the Warhammer Age of Sigmar universe.
Okay, well in that case I know what I'm talking about. Okay,
yeah.
So like there was some world or something, and then it went bad, or some guy got cranky and decided to take it out of existence or something.
I know you know who that guy is.
Oh, is that Nagash?
It is
that
indeed
the big
yes,
bad guy? Okay, so he had a
angry,
cranky hissy fit and chucked a tantrum and destroyed a world, as you do. And then I think I heard you last night explaining it to someone that the world sometimes comes back into existence, and then there's all these treasures and stuff that people are trying to get. But then sometimes it winks out of existence, so then they get trapped there, and then the whole game, the premise is that these people have warbands and they fight each other to get treasure and to kill people and all that good stuff that you think is good.
Not bad. Shadespire is a city, and yes, cursed to be in between realms by Nagash.
Sure.
Who
silly me.
I always say the reason why Nagash has big hands is to hold all those grudges that he has.
Right.
He's not a particularly pleasant individual.
Sure.
Who likes to torture people. That's not too bad. So so you pass.
Good.
So every Tuesday night, our house is somewhat invaded by, I don't want to say beardy weirdies because I think I'm the only one that actually has a beard in our gaming group. But
David has a beard.
Oh, it's debatable whether you call that a beard.
His mother calls it a beard.
Yeah, right. But yes, invaded by war gamers, people who just want to smash each other on the tabletop with little miniatures. There's a podcast that their opening song is "We paint tiny people and then play with them," and that's basically
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's basically what we do.
Song.
Yeah, we paint tiny people and then we play with them. So anyway, every Tuesday night we've got games night. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about our house being invaded by dudes who just want to smash each other?
Well, it was all right when you were on Mondays because then I wasn't here. So that was good. But I mean, Tuesdays is fine. The only thing that I guess stresses me out is the fact that I like to be in my PJs by 7. But then I decided you guys are all socially challenged and come to our house to play war games. So I didn't feel like anyone was going to judge me if I was wearing my PJs anyway. So, more power to you. Just make sure you bring the chairs back upstairs when you're done. And I guess, also cleaning the house is kind of a little bit stressful on Tuesdays. I know, again, that you're all weird social misfits and probably live in your parents' basements. But yeah, I do feel like there should be a certain level of cleanliness.
Yeah, and just for the viewers, often I will have everything packed up from games night 2 days before the next games night.
Yeah, it's true. It's so true.
Things tend to stay out for a while.
Yeah.
So on a more philosophical note, I guess, on a deeper level. So you both read and write fantasy fiction. Big fan of fantasy fiction.
Yeah.
But you have little interest in role-playing games, fantasy role-play, whether it's traditional role-play or tabletop role-play or whatever. So where's the disconnect there? What's the difference between exploring fantasy worlds through fiction compared to exploring fantasy worlds through gaming?
Yeah. The short answer is I don't have a beard. This is actually probably the easiest out of all the questions that you've asked because, the first issue is that when we played The Lord of the Rings back many years ago,
many moons ago,
I was going to lose, and I think I was playing the good people, and then you had Saruman and I had like Gandalf or someone, and you let me have another move. So you could have polished the floor with me, and you let me have another move because you said, I want you to cast this spell because I want to see what will happen because it will be so cool. And then I won. So now I'm on a winning streak that has lasted for 15 years. So that was your mistake.
Yeah, right.
And if I play again, then I will lose my winning streak probably. The other thing, I guess, now I can't really remember what I was going to say. What's the other thing?
That's
there
right.
There was another thing.
While you're thinking of it, so I really started the hobby with the Lord of the Rings, and in that particular game, it was an amazing narrative moment. So normally in Lord of the Rings, once your army has gone down to a certain level of points, then you lose, and that had happened, but there was Gandalf and there was Saruman, and it was such an amazing sort of narrative that was going on that I didn't want it to end. It was telling this great story with these iconic characters.
Yeah.
You can't just leave Gandalf and Saruman together on the battlefield and not have them explode each other.
Well,
and fortunately Gandalf won that. Fortunately for the story, perhaps not fortunately for
our marriage.
your experience in the hobby. But yeah.
I've remembered what the other thing I was going to say was. Like, I don't actually have anything against tabletop wargaming. It's lots of fun. I also like playing board games. They're lots of fun, but probably at this stage in my life, I've got so many things that I have to keep in my head that I don't even read good books anymore. I watch Hallmark movies for entertainment, and I read free books from Book Club on my Kindle, which are terrible, about angsty teenage girls trying to decide which of the love interests they want to get together with. So mentally, I don't really have that much headspace, and it feels like tactics-based gaming would be a little bit too much on the tired brain. And the other thing is that I have other things that I would much prefer to do. I don't sit down and play a board game, even though every time I do, I have lots of fun. So I'm sure if I sat down and played a game with you and I didn't have something else that was burning in my brain that I had to do, like that time when Josh wanted to play whatever it was, and I was like trying to write a talk or something, and you kept hassling me and telling me that I had to roll the dice, and you didn't tell me what the dice were doing. You just said, oh yeah, you've got this, and I'm like, I don't even know what that is. What does that mean? Oh, this means that. And like, I didn't have any idea what I was doing, and I was trying to do something else at the same time. So I didn't enjoy that at all. And was anxiously waiting for an excuse to stop doing it so that I could go and do what I had got to do at the time. So yeah, like when I have time to sit down, I don't think, oh, I'm going to go pretend to be Nagash and kill people with cool spells. I think I'm going to go watch a movie that's probably really bad, or I'm going to write my book because that's actually something that I feel is interesting and profitable, or just anything else really. So nothing personal. Just there's so many other things I would prefer to spend my time on.
There are a lot of rules to remember in Age of Sigmar. I've been playing it for a little over a year, and I still don't have, like, I still have to look at my war scrolls like every single time. Does that hit on a 4 or a 5? Does that wound on, what's this special ability? How does this stack with that? Yeah, there are a lot of rules to remember.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Last question. So I paint tiny people and then play with them. I've painted a lot of models over the years, and I did unfairly ask this question when most of my Lord of the Rings models are packed away, and I'm sure you probably would have chosen them instead. But what are your favourite and least favourite models that I've painted at this present time?
I brought along samples to show you. So we'll go with the least favourite first. This is probably my least favourite. I don't know if you can...
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that there. So this, turn it around, is a grotesque, disgusting thing. I have no idea what it is.
It's called a pink horror.
It's a pink horror. The skin tone is just disgusting. It just reminds me of a rotting corpse, which I suppose was the effect that you were going for.
I was going for something very fleshy. Normally they're much brighter pink, like they're a magenta, but I wanted something a little fleshier.
Yeah, no, that's really just decaying corpse tone. I think that's what that colour should be. And this just disgusting red tongue sticking out here is just, image of nightmares, and his face with the gaping maw and the sharp teeth and the horns. So he is, and all the limbs, that's just grotesque. So disproportionate, like horrible colours, looks like something from the grave. I think it's awful. I do like this very pretty pillar thing that you've got painted here. And
I'm sort of doing an Egyptian theme, so lots of gold and turquoise.
Yeah, no, I quite like it. It's very pretty. I'd break that off and then I'd have that. But he can go.
So pink horrors are demons that are like crazy and full of energy and like run around. They're basically like 12-year-old ADHD kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Explains the tongue and the gaping maw and the weird limbs. Now I've got another one I don't like. Well, it's kind of a series. I'll show you the whole lot and then
there's 40 of these, but just 20.
So I just grabbed one lot. So I don't like these, not because of the paint job. I think the paint job's actually quite cool. So I grabbed him out. So he's got a cool shield. I like him. So I think you've painted him really well.
Thank you.
Which is why I hate him, because he's disgusting. And again, stuff of nightmares. I have nightmares very easily. I don't know. Actually, maybe this is the reason why our son has been having so many nightmares. Did you ever think of that?
I did not actually.
Yeah, my food for thought.
Pushing skeletons that have half come out of the grave.
Half come out of the grave, yeah. I think that's probably something worth considering. So he's disgusting. I don't like him either, except for his shield. His shield is cool. What else have we got? Okay, what do I like the best? This chick, I have christened Red Horsey Lady. What are they called?
So these are my converted blood knights.
Yeah. Okay.
So they're based on a Bretonian knight, which is like basically King Arthur, but these have become vampires. Imagine.
I'm liking them less now.
Imagine King Arthur as a vampire, but I have them all as ladies because that's cool.
Did they all have ladies' heads when you made them?
I put the ladies' heads on them.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Some of them are actually just men's heads with long hair that I've made to look like ladies' heads. Like that one. Oh, no, that is a lady's head.
Right, okay. Yeah. Well, what I like about this one is I like the armour on the horse. I like the colour that you used. I think, did you use that gold wash or something over the top?
No, it's a clear red. So it's Tamiya clear red. And so you just paint a silver and then paint this clear red over the top. It's about 3 layers of clear red.
Okay, I quite like that.
Gives it a metallic kind of sheen.
Yeah, no, I do like that metallic sheen. I like the toning that you've done on the whatever that blanket thing is. And I like the base as well. It's cool. And her shield, which looks like a dragon wing. Was that obviously intentional?
She's a blood knight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last one wouldn't be complete without the master himself, destroyer of cities or worlds, Nagash.
The Great Necromancer.
The Great Necromancer. Sorry, I'm just going to put him in front of your face. Hang on, which way do I turn? Okay, there we go. Now we can all see it and we can see us. So what I really like about this, although I didn't like it at the time of your creation, was the amount of detail that you put into it. You spent hours and hours and hours on it, and it shows. I don't know whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we'll go with good. I like this little stained glass window thing you've got happening down here. I like how it all actually stays up there. I know that you had some problems trying to get it to stick up there. He's awesome in his majesty, all the little skulls coming out of his body and the book that he's reading with the face coming out of it, which you guys can't see, but I can because it's cool, and his big cool helmet and his big cool scepter.
Nagash has the best hat in Warhammer Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, the best hat in the game.
Yeah, and I love these books. I don't know what the significance of these books on the little...
They're his spell books.
Oh, his spell books. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, they're pretty cool too. So, yes, lots of detail. I like the colour. And the just depth of...
He's certainly, he's pretty much my most complicated conversion to date. Spent a lot of time making that conversion and a lot of time painting on. It's probably, if someone said, what model are you the most proud of, I'd probably say that one.
Oh, there you go. See,
you
could have paid me and I would have given you a plug, but you didn't have to because I like him. Mainly because the Lord of the Rings ones are not him.
There's not much point paying you because...
it's our money.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do us any good. Yeah. Darn it.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for coming on and making this video with me. It was a lot of fun. Had a good time chatting hobby. We don't get to do it very much. So thank you for coming on. Thank you guys for watching. And stay tuned if you want to hear more of my voice. Catch us later.